How's going, everybody? Welcome to the Dusty Sunday session. We've got Steve from Dapper Den.
What's going on, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube and
Glad
D
to
Live.
glad to
We're
be here.
bloody rocking it. Thanks for coming on, Steve. You're the new style master here to save the Bogan race from self destruction.
Hey man, Bogan's got their own style. It's I'm sure I can give some feedback, but people have their own thing going, and I'm more than happy to encourage it.
Yeah,
I'm not too pretentious about how people should dress or anything, but always happy to give tips and provide advice for guys. So it's my whole
sweet.
spiel.
Yeah, you've been like ever since I've known you. You've been like a bit of a mad fashion stud, getting around and always look good in your suits and stuff, which is
Yeah,
nice,
man,
you
it
know.
started about 10 years ago now, and yeah, it's just growing from there.
Yeah, that's sick,
It's
dude.
been
So
it's been a good time.
you've started like you've got a. I'll put all your links in the description. You've started as an Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, YouTube. So you're going big. You're starting out, and you're gonna help blokes get their style right. Hopefully, get them a bit of luck, get a bit of lucky action happening for the boys. Keep them looking
Absolutely,
sharp.
man. It's you know when you dress well and you feel comfortable with what you're wearing, you're more confident. You feel better about yourself, and that's the main thing I try and focus on is the importance of
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
A lot of guys don't feel comfortable in suits, and so I try and not necessarily push them into wearing suits, but teach them how to wear them more comfortably and feel comfortable in themselves in it. And it's a pretty good response you get from the ladies when you do that. So
mm.
um, yeah, always happy to. I think that there's a famous quote by KDS which says that there's nothing more attractive than a man who knows how to look after himself. So it's pretty true.
Yeah.
It's sort of seen as a little bit gay or metrosexual to dress well nowadays, and I'm trying to
But
kill that image because
that
it's
was never
cool.
the case, eh? Like in the past, it was a sign of self-respect and respecting others. So if you're, I say it, I've always said it to the when I was a youth leader, and I say it to my bloody brothers. I'll be like, if you look like shit and you don't look after yourself, what is that saying to other people? Like it's kind of saying, well, how am I gonna respect you, or how am I gonna treat the people around you if you can't treat yourself right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing how different people treat you when you put some effort into how you dress and how you appear to others. It's helped me tremendously in business and all aspects of my life, more so than people realize. Like I challenge any guy out there to invest in a good outfit, especially a suit if you can. Watch my video on how to find one that fits right. A bit of a
Mm,
plug there, but yeah, it's amazing how much more respect you get just from changing your outfit and putting a bit of effort in.
mm,
It's a little bit superficial, but that people judge people based on their appearances so much, but it's a part of life, and you can either ignore it or you can embrace it and take it on board. And that's my approach: is put your best foot forward, and you'll be amazed what you can achieve if you do that.
yeah, it's like
Doesn't matter
self
doesn't matter
invest.
whoop,
It's like a
doesn't
self
matter what you do.
investment. Yeah, it's like investing in
Absolutely.
yourself, and I totally get it. I mean, what have I? I've been a groomsman 8 times, so I've actually got a fair. I don't think you've ever seen me wear a suit, hey, Steve, but I've
I've
got
seen
like
photos,
eight.
mate, but never in person.
I've got like 8 suits in the cupboard in there because I've been a groomsman 8 times. So it's like it's a funny thing. I'm more of a t-shirt man. T-shirt and jeans or bloody
Hey, man, there's
just
nothing wrong with a
cream
t-shirt and
pants or
jeans.
something. Yeah, I keep
Absolutely.
it simple. I find myself to
Yeah,
be
dude.
like I can be like Homer Simpson. You know Homer Simpson's he's got like his blue jeans and his t-shirt. That could be
Yep.
me, like just black. For me, I'm a black t-shirt guy because I'm a bit of a pig and I'm just like if I wear white or any color, next minute I've just got shit all over myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even then, man, you can wear a t-shirt and jeans, and if they fit right, you look fantastic. Yeah. So you don't have to spend lots of money on clothes and buying expensive suits or anything to look good. Make the most of what you've got and work with that, and even that will amaze you how much people pick it up and notice it. So yeah, it's not always about suits and everything like I sort of come across, but I'll wear a t-shirt during the week. I'm not always dressed in suits. So, but I make sure that it fits right, that, the colors work well together. And that's the key. It's just making the most of it with what you have.
Yeah. We've got a few comments going. Dr. Bogan's
nice.
biggest fan. I did a show yesterday and I was like Dr. Bogan because I was like, yeah, my mate here, he's coined me the Dr. Bogan.
Yep, old Rev. Good to see you, mate.
Bob Catter's in the chat, the legend.
Good to see.
How he's going? Bang, bang, bang. And then we got some D Live. We got a bit of 4 people tuning in on D Live. Yo, how he's going?
Awesome. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah. That's
good. Should have an interesting chat ahead.
Do you remember that show, How I Met Your Mother? And who was the dude? Bernie or something?
Barney,
yeah. And he would always wear a suit. And he would be like, the only time he wouldn't wear a suit is like, I think it was weddings and funerals. When like everyone else wore a suit, he would never wear a suit. It's like classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I loved his pajama suit. That's something that I would actually be interested in buying, is a nice pajama suit. I know that Dreamwear Fashion designed some custom pajamas. So shout out to Chris Condon and his partner Nicole, who are involved in that. If you guys can make me a suit that's for pajamas, I would definitely buy it.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the artwork there that they do, it's for like She Rescue Home, which is something. It's like a rescue home for girls in Cambodia who have been caught in sex trafficking or something. So that's like they're a good.
Yeah.
Good. They got a good thing
they raise money.
There.
They raise money for a good cause, and you're not just buying from them directly. You're also contributing to some charity work along with that. So it's a good use of their profits.
Yeah. Versace Cowboy in the house. How you going? There he is.
What's up, Versace? Absolutely right, mate. Balance is important.
Yeah. Dressing for different occasions, suits for a formal occasion for sure, but job interviews as a tradie, high vis all the way. But gotta let. Yeah, I know, like I've done it before. Like I think we where did we go? Maybe it was like went to the horse races and wear a bit of you kind of dress up a bit. And then we ended up at like some heavy metal bar or something, and you just like feel out of place. You know what I mean? So you gotta dress for the occasion. I totally feel that. Like,
it is true. It is true. I've sort of built my brand around wearing suits, though. So I sort of wear different suits for the occasion. So that's how I approach it. And you sort of like you look at James. Yeah.
So Bob Catter's cowboy hat, he can fucking wear that thing anywhere.
Yeah, that's his occasions. Thing,
Yeah.
Absolutely. You look at James Bond, he can be out, in the Bahamas wearing a suit, and that's sort of how I approach it. Is because that's fun for me, is making something that isn't traditionally worn in a certain area to wear it and sort of pull it off is a fun challenge I like to do with myself. But
and I guess like suits are like a European traditional clothing, you know what I mean? So if you're like in the Western world and we're wearing suits, it does have like a historical cultural connection back to back to Europe. And when you see if you see like at church, I see some guys that wear like their African They look pretty sweet. They're sweet African shirts, or some Islander dudes will wear like a bit of a Islander pattern Hawaiian shirts, and it's like you can see, oh, that's a traditional dress. Do you know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
for us, like a suit is actually, because it kind of gets watered down because everyone's wears suits. You don't think it has that European like traditional dress, but it is. Like it's
yeah.
just
The,
that
the
if you're
the suit was
badass,
designed.
everyone's adopted it.
Yeah, the suit was designed to be uh, a practical item of clothing that men could wear. So yeah, women carry around handbags, and uh, they've done that for the last 200 years or more. And men never carried handbags, or like like you see these little bum bags and all that. Men never
The
carried
man
backpacks or
bags.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
men never carried that because they wore
Oh
suits, and
fuck.
you've got
Plenty
a
pockets.
pile of different pockets that you can load up with different stuff, and it saves you carrying around a bag, and
Yeah.
it means you can use your hands for other things.
Keep a
So for me,
flask in
it's a
your
practicality.
Yeah, keep a
Yeah,
flask in your
absolutely.
suit jacket. Bang, I got this one here. My mate actually bought this for me. Dusty, the man, the
Nice.
myth, the legend. He just like it just
Very
popped up in
nice.
my mailbox. I was like, he goes, I think maybe it was my birthday or something. But he goes, oh, I got you something. I got a bit of moonshine in here.
Mate, you and your
That's what
moonshine.
you
It's
need. That's what you need in your
I,
jacket, suit pocket,
I
eh?
love seeing the stills, man. When I was younger, when I first got into suits, I used to go to the cinema and I'd sneak in a flask of alcohol, just
Fuck yeah.
straight whiskey or scotch or something, and I'd buy a large Coke, drink a bit of it, and then just top it up, and then
Bang.
you're enjoying a drink at the
G-
cinema.
Go to church, get a coffee, and
Yep.
bit of maybe a bit of Irish coffee in there.
Don't follow my advice though. That's not a smart thing to do at the cinemas or out in public. But
Yeah.
responsible here. But yeah, when I was younger, it was a bit of a trend me and my friends had. It
You
was
got
a
to
bit of
do
a
what you
challenge
got to
between
do,
us.
but hey, that's a part of life.
That's it, man.
If you're young and broke,
That's
or
it.
you're like a tradie, or you're in uni and you're starting off, or you're going through a
Yeah.
tough
What?
trot, you're going through a bit of a tough trot. That's life. You got to do what you got to do. You got to
Absolutely.
sneak the flask in the old suit jacket, or
Man,
get away
I
with it,
couldn't
mate.
afford gold class, so I made my own.
Everywhere's gold class when you got a fucking flask in your suit jacket, bro. You're walking around and
That's it, man.
living the dream.
I used to try and sneak different foods in as well. That became the next part of that challenge. And then we stopped it because it got a bit ridiculous. It
Yeah,
all became about like how much hot food could we sneak in? So like lasagna or spaghetti in a bloody container.
you
It
got a
was
fucking steak, chips, and salad, brother. In the
yeah, just sitting there. It was good fun. Uh, but now there's gold class, and I'm not a poor student anymore. So
yeah, you're
I'm a
not
poor entrepreneur now.
no, yeah. No more chicken palmy snuck into the cinema, bro. You're all good.
That's
No,
it, mate.
there's no
Love
cinemas
love a good
anyway
palmy.
now. There's no bloody
Yeah, they're
cinemas
all
right
shut
now. It's bullshit. I reckon
now.
like
Now your gold class.
is your living
Now
room.
your gold class is Netflix at home. Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, I'm hoping I seen today they had some protests in America. They're like, people are saying we're over the lockdown situation. Surely there's some more. Like, surely they could be like, right, you can go to the cinema, but you know, they said, oh, we're going to sell a certain at half or a third of the tickets per cinema. You know what I mean? And make sure you've got two seats between each person. Surely they could
Yeah.
do that. Like, come on.
Yep.
Same with churches. Surely the local pub, have your security guard. This is what I reckon we're going to see in a few weeks. You'll go to the pub and it'll be like going to a restaurant. They'll be like, yeah, mate, we'll get you a table. They'll walk you to the table, you sit down, and hopefully it's table service. And, maybe a venue which would usually have 500 might only have 150. But come on, if you're a local business owner, you're going to prefer to have the doors open and have people coming in than fucking rotting on the vine and destroying.
Yeah.
At the moment, we
half.
need to mix it up. I think it's time to
Yeah.
innovate, bit of
It's tough on
innovation.
small business.
We don't need to fully open up cinemas and churches and clubs, but we need to bring in like a social distancing, You know, bring in the 4 square meters per person. Do it. But I reckon it's time. I reckon in the next 2 weeks we're probably going to see these things open up again in a different
Yeah.
way. Not fully open up, but we're going to see them in a different way. And we'll be able
I've
to.
heard 4 weeks. I've heard
Oh yeah.
that the government's negotiating currently on the next level of removing the lockdowns and what they're going to allow. And in 4 weeks' time, they said that we should see some changes come into effect because small businesses are struggling. I mean, even large businesses are struggling. But
Yeah.
at least like Woolworths and some of these larger stores are still open, but just restricted. So hopefully they can bring those same restrictions into some of the smaller businesses, because half your patronage or even a third is better than nothing at all. So
Yeah.
otherwise, we're going to have a lot of businesses out of business.
Yeah. And like I'm going to my local supermarket and they're counting people coming in, or Bunnings,
Yeah,
and if it gets too many people, you just have to queue up. And that's what it's going to have to be at the pub. That's what it's going to have to be at the cinema. You know what I mean? Just sell a third of the tickets for that cinema, or your local church. They could go, yeah, we used to have 100 people per service, but we're only doing 50 per service. But instead of 2 services a Sunday, we're doing 4 services, so everyone can
yeah,
come. Like we can do it. We can mix it up. And this is the thing. Like, yeah, we've had to shut the shit down for a bit. Probably responsible, but I think it's time to let people innovate, let people do what they need to do to keep that business going and get the economy going. People sitting at home is not good for anyone. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
You can't sit in a
We've got
suit at
to.
home, eh, Steve? Well, you do.
I know, man.
But you're not
This
wearing
is
pants right now, so that's the difference.
yeah, man. On all my video conferences and all my teleconferences, key is from the waist up, look professional. From the waist down, it's all party.
Yeah, all party, Hawaiian shorts on, or no, nothing at all.
Yeah, oh man, tidy
Where's
whities.
where did what did Versace Cowboy said something funny in here? He reckons 2 seats per person in the cinema. Who am I meant to how am I meant to finger fat chicks from 2 seats away? What a savage! I remember when Versace Cowboy, right, when he came up to Brizzy first time, and then we were at the pub and we were both in the fucking dunny pissing next to each other. And then I'm like, oh fuck, my fly's broken, right? And he's like, oh well, who gives a shit? You're wearing boxer shorts or undies, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm free balling. And he's like, you fucking sicko.
Going commando.
You're going commando, mate. I think I had that must have been a while ago now. Fuck. And I think I went commando all Christmas holidays. I had maybe 3 weeks off, and then I went back to work, and I was like, I can't do this. And I think I've been freeballing it for over a year now. I'm telling you, this is the best way to live. I'm telling you.
It's a life changer, game changer.
You can't. It's too hot in this country, mate. I swear, it's like whoever invented fucking jocks and boxer shorts, it's like from cold European countries or something. It's not meant to be the way in Australia. It's boardies, one layer. One layer.
You can get some pretty good ones now that actually keep you cool down there, which is handy. They've come out in the last year or two.
What's that?
You've got Climacool.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Like made
you've got
Climacool and
Climacool,
shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. They just breathe nicely.
That's fucking good, man.
So
they need that.
They're working on it. On it.
Too hot. You got to keep your balls fucking nice and cool. You know what I mean? Here's Versace Cowboy. He even remembers. He said you had a key ring around your pants button. That's right. to stop my fly falling down when I free ball, right? On your zip, it's got that little hole in the zip. You put a key ring through it, and then you hook it up onto the button.
Yep, that's a good little trick. That one.
That's the trick. Your fly won't come down. So if you're free balling, you have your little key ring there hooked on the button. Bang, mate.
It's your safety net.
your safety net until you're like me and your fucking fly breaks and you're like, oh fuck. Yeah.
It's like a child lock. You're good to go. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're laughing, mate. Just get out of control.
That's bloody great.
Yeah. I remember the African boys at church. Oh, we got a bit of a super chat.
Nice.
Can you Aussies work with NZ to take out the New World Order bunkers? Thanks.
Hey, I think if I shave my beard, wore a nice suit, I could probably sneak in as an FBI informant. Surely wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah. Where are these bunkers bloody hiding? I need to get in there.
Apparently, there's some across Australia and all over the US.
Is it?
It's quite interesting. Yeah, there's underground bunkers
World?
where.
Dead set.
Yeah,
they're like even got them in here.
Yeah, like bomb facilities.
I've heard of the FEMA camps. Have you heard of the FEMA camps? And there was someone found one on the Gold Coast. I've seen on the YouTube. It was like some politician.
I haven't. That's wild.
Some politician down the coast. He like exposed it. It was a few years back now. But it's all, I don't know. I guess it's like conspiracy theories. I love a good conspiracy theory, but.
Oh, me too, mate. Me too. I don't fall for them all, but I love knowing what's out there and what people are sort of talking about. So it's also fun to debunk some of the crazy ones, and they're entertaining, some of them. So always a fan of the odd conspiracy.
Yeah. $20, they reckon. Versace cowboy. $20 says Steve has a jacket on but has no pants on. There you go. They're on to you, Steve.
Hang on, I think I don't know. I think let's see. No, I'm wearing pants. $20. Nah.
Yeah. There you go.
We need someone to go against that bet, but it's already been announced.
No, they need to. He needs to give. You need to get a PayPal, and Versace Cowboy owes you $20, bro.
Oh, I have, mate. I have. It's
you do?
it's on my YouTube channels. On my latest video,
I think
down the bottom.
Maybe I actually got it. Because I did.
I don't think I sent it to you, but.
I went on the YouTube channel and I just copied all the links. So maybe it's in the description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Might be. It's PayPal.com/Dapper Den.
All the billionaires have bunkers in New Zealand. Actually, I seen that on 60 Minutes. They had all these like mad mansions down near Queenstown. I actually lived in Queenstown. I used to walk to school in Queenstown, to school in the snow. And they reckon Queenstown's full of all these mad millionaire fucking mansions. They're just sitting there like empty doomsday fucking mansions,
Man, it's pretty interesting. I mean, imagine the money that goes into building those. To build underground is bloody expensive. So, it's interesting to think that there's some hidden little bomb shelters under there, and what's in them. It's why are they preparing them? I mean, it's quite possibly it's paranoia, but who knows?
Yeah,
if you've got the money, man, you may as well.
Why wouldn't you? You just be like, yeah, fuck it, why not? You got
my family's safe. I'm good.
Ready to take you to New Zealand with plenty of fresh water down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, mate, New Zealand's beautiful. I've never been, but I've seen plenty of photos, and I'd love to go snowboarding or skiing over there.
Oh fuck yeah!
Freaking fantastic.
So good. I love it. So, have you seen the Kanye's? We'll pull it up. Kanye's.
Yeah, man, I got to see these.
The where are they? The Yeezy foams. I'm so keen to get them. Have a look at these.
Oh.
It's like they're like the new.
What?
The next Crocs, bro.
They look like a sex toy almost. What is that?
Yeah. I can't wait, man. I swear to God. Oh, Kev sent me a PayPal. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Did I miss it? I think I missed. Oh no, I got that one. Yeah. dead set. I think they were saying, yeah, so Yeezy foams are coming 2020. I think they're
Mate,
saying they're going to be 75 US dollars. So, like, fucking, I can't wait. I reckon,
hey,
so what's that? 150, maybe 120 Australian?
yeah, about
Yeah.
that. Depending on when it changes. I wonder if he's designed them to walk on water with his whole
Yeah.
Yeezus aesthetic. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe that's
yeah.
maybe that's why they're so expensive. You know, they look like they could walk on water. Maybe all those holes. Who
Thanks,
knows?
thanks, Kev. Just got your super chat. Oh, the PayPal through. Yeah, they definitely look like. I kind of thought like you know how he kind of goes to the prisons and stuff, Kanye, and then the
Yep.
prisoners also wear like shitty slip-ons that like look real crap. So I was like, and a lot of Kanye's like fashion he makes, it kind of looks like prison clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got a unique style. It's pretty impressive to see how he's branded it and how he's taken off so much. You know, it's he started a few years ago, and now they're like the most popular, well, one of the most popular shoes out there. And the hype
Yeah.
he builds around them, it's good marketing. I don't think
They're
they're
like,
worth the money, but it's great marketing. He's a marketing whiz.
yeah, for sure, man. Like, honestly, I can't wait to get a pair of these Yeezy foams. I'll
They
just be
look
fucking.
wild.
Look at this for a piece of fucking. It's
Mate,
transgender,
her
transgender
outfit,
fucking. If
her
she should
outfit
have,
matches the shoes.
yeah, it would have been real funny if she had like hairy legs. You know what I mean?
Is that on the back? Is that a guy or a girl
It's a
in the
shim.
white one piece thing? It's a shim.
Fucking
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah. Now I can see. Now I can
Yeah.
see
Should
that Adam's
yeah.
apple.
If he shaved his if he shaved his little mustache off, you'd be like fucking
But
you
they
wouldn't know
both. I
who's
can't
who.
tell. Yeah, I can't tell if the one in the front's a guy or a girl either. It's
And
just
is this the
ambiguous.
future of this is the future of fashion or what, Steve? Or are you gonna save us from this shit?
No,
Um,
I don't see this taking off. Tradition is hard to beat, and it's all this new fashion isn't that practical. So that's why people go back to the same old traditions. You know, suits haven't gone out of style ever
yeah,
in the last 200 years, and even before then, they were just slightly different. But you look at the last 100 years, for example, suits have not really changed much. They're pretty perfect. So
yeah,
you might see lapels get thicker and slimmer. You might see some wider cuts and looser fits, or some tighter cuts. But overall, the suit hasn't really changed. It's pretty perfect. So I don't see it changing anytime soon.
yeah. Well, I can't wait to get these fucking Yeezy foams. So I think they reckon. I think it said. Did it say spring or summer, American summertime? So that's coming up soon. I'll be fucking
Yeah, it's
booking in
our
for a
winter.
pair of them. Yeah, I'll be bloody trying to get a pair of them. I'll be rocking around. I reckon it will be like I will feel like the biggest fuckhead wearing them shoes, but just because it's because it's Kanye, I gotta back him.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, if anyone can pull it off, I think it's you, buddy. I reckon you can rock anything. So, you
Yeah,
know,
the
do it. I'd love to see it.
this hat and some fucking Yeezy foams on, bro. I'll be like,
Mate,
imagine like I'm real keen to like hit up a interview with like fucking some based politician wearing a pair of Yeezy foams on, I'll be like, yo, fucking freedom.
yep,
Yeah.
mate, that'd be
Here's
fantastic.
here's Kanye. He's coming out supporting Trump again 2020. While we're on the while we're on Kanye, you know what I mean? Kanye confirms he's backing
Yep,
Donald Trump in 2020 election.
he's wearing
Bang,
his
what a
cape.
fucking stud. Nice hat. I love it. He wears it with pride.
Yeah,
I
buddy,
think
Superman.
he was saying something they said to him. Uh, they said to him like will ruin your career, or you won't be able to work if you back in 2016 if you don't vote Hillary or back Hillary. But he was like, "Fuck
Yep, mate.
you."
Water. Yep, water off a duck's back,
Yeah,
which was the right approach. You know, he stuck to his guns, and I'm glad to see that he's doing well. You know, he's a bit of a loose cannon, but he's definitely entertaining when he goes on his rants. That's for sure.
yeah,
He knows how
sure.
to generate publicity.
He said some statement here. Yeah, this is what he says. He goes, referencing Hillary Clinton 2016, "I'm with her" slogan. He said, "I was told my career would end if I wasn't with her." What kind of campaign is that anyway? Like, that's
Yeah,
just fucking full blackmail, you know?
yeah, and coming from the party that's supposed to be anti-racist and anti-discrimination, it's pretty ironic.
Yeah. I read he said some statement like he's like, I can't see it here. Fucking, I don't know. He said something about what did he say? Both of my parents were freedom fighters. They didn't fight for me to be told by white people what white person I should vote for.
Yeah, that's a great comeback.
Yeah,
That is perfect.
yeah,
He's
it's
got
good, man.
some good calls.
I love it too, eh? And you think like Kanye, obviously, he's kind of come out as a Christian now, and he's made that gospel album. So he's delved
Yeah,
deep. I think it's like a cool thing because it's like, I think only Christianity could produce that. You know what I mean? Like a pop culture kind of hero emerging into that scene. Like I can't see any other religion being able to pull that off. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely. I mean, Christianity is popular worldwide. You say the name Jesus, and everyone respects it. It's hard to find someone. They may argue against Christianity, but they won't argue against Jesus. It's quite powerful. So
Yeah.
he's onto something.
Here we go. Versace Cowboy reckons, let's get a GoFundMe happening to get Dusty some Yeezys. Yeah, mate.
Yeah, nice.
Uh, so, what do you reckon, Steve? You're the master on fashion. What do you reckon of these man bags these young dudes wear? The man
Oh man,
bags. It's disgusting, isn't it? Does it
buy a suit.
scream I'm sorry? Yeah, buy a suit.
Dude,
It
it
screams I'm a piece
screams
of shit.
more for me. I think it screams more. I'm a drug dealer and I'm carrying right now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think when I see it. I mean,
It's
there's
like,
plenty of guys that do it for practicality, but there's better ways out there. Unless you're a cameraman or something and you need to carry a bag around with lenses or whatever, you
you're a
can pretty much
fucking,
carry everything in your pockets.
unless you're like a tourist. Like I think like uh, back in the 80s, people who wore bum bags, and they were like Nike bum bags, and you'd wear like a hat like these and like fluoro sunnies, and you'd be like, yo, with some sweatbands on, and you'd carry a camera, and you're like a tourist,
Yep,
and you're like, and
bro,
you're like taking photos. That was all right. You didn't look like a
mate.
scumbag. You've got like a map of the town and shit. And you're like,
You
you
look
know
like
what I mean? You got a
you
camera
look
in
like a
there. And
dad.
you're fucking
If I
dad
ever
with
go
a
to Disneyland, if
yeah,
I ever go to
brother.
Disneyland, my outfit's going to be short shorts, high socks, a
Yeezy
visor, bum
foams.
bag,
Yeezy
camera
foams.
around the neck. Yeah,
Fuck
buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, or Crocs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's what Yeezy foams are. They're the Crocs on bloody steroids. You know what I mean? They're
buddy.
redeeming.
They're
They're redeeming the fucking the system.
for fashion dads.
Yeah, fashion dads.
Man, the uh, the dad look is definitely an iconic look now. There's definitely a look for it, and it's quite interesting.
Oh, we
I
need to have a
definitely rep
look.
it.
I'll pull up some of these. Oh fuck, this is forever. some of this. I just googled men's fashion, right? And it's just like
Oh, this will be interesting.
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like you know, this is where we need someone like you'll be doing us all a service by being like, nah, check out these
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
weapons. This is just Google
yeah.
images.
I need a bucket before I'm sick. That's man, like in the
Like
50s,
a
they're talking about the future being cars that could fly and all these new technologies, and instead we get this.
we get a man
What happened
wearing
to the
furs.
what
There
happened
you
to
go.
the space age jumpsuits? Like, I'd rather that to this.
Yeah, like
My God.
Marty McFly's fucking jacket and his Nikes that
Yeah,
perfectly fit you,
yeah,
like custom made.
yeah. What where did we go wrong?
Look at this fucking dude. Yeah, mate. Just fucking one
He looks
leg
like he's
out.
wearing a doona. He
This
looks
is
like
like
he's
the Burka's gone bad, bro. He
he
got
looks
caught in the
like
wind.
he's got into a fight with a sheet.
Yeah.
He's wearing his
Darth
bedding.
it's Darth Vader if he was gay.
What else we got
Some
on
of them's
here?
like here's like a standard bloke. Just the standard enough
Yeah, that's better.
normal bloke. Like, come on. That's what you need.
But now there's no, there's a lack of finesse in fashion. It's all about who can be the loudest and get the most attention for the most ridiculous stuff. Like this guy. What is that? He looks like he's
his
wearing a Tetris game.
his fucking dad wants to slap him, eh?
Yeah,
Usually
he's
the
making his
African
dad proud.
dudes usually the African dudes at church are like pretty fucking stylish, you know?
Yeah, I
And they would
like some of
always
their suits.
yeah, they're
They got
they're
their own style.
keen as on the suits and
Yeah.
like they'd always be like to me, they'd be like, no, what are you doing? You cannot wear a t-shirt. You must wear something nice and all this. And I'll be like,
Yeah,
oh.
good on him.
They'd always they'd hit up all the young dudes. They tried to get the Sunday suit thing going for a bit. So I think we do
Yeah, man,
twice
it's
Sunday.
a trend.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good on them, you know what I mean? And I think it's like, it's a picture of self-respect when you do it. And you're showing
Absolutely. And
respect for your community and that.
yeah, I think it's more, in reality, if you dress for yourself, you could wear whatever you wanted. But by putting some effort in, you're actually doing it for other people. It's a sign of respect for others. And in turn, it actually makes you respect yourself more. So I look at it as
Here's fucking
being
Kanye.
respectful.
Here's Kanye's
Here we
fucking
go.
fashion label out. It's like
He's
homeless
got some,
people.
yeah.
It's like the Matrix, bro, in Zion, and they're all like, it's like, yo, we're all
No, it's
fucked
like,
up.
have you seen Zoolander?
Oh yeah, like
Have you
Zoolander.
seen Derelict, where it's
It's like the
homeless people's
homeless.
clothes?
Yeah. He found the whitest white people he could there. Is that even real? He's like,
Yeah,
yo, bleach that shit up even more.
mate, all
For
that
the fucking
it's
aliens.
so bland. It's so bland to look at though. Like they're all the same color. That is in the 70s they were saying that everyone's going to be the same color, the same race, and and he's put that into fashion. Just this beige.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he's moved
Everything's
away
beige.
from. I wonder if he's moved away from it a little bit, like this particular era or that particular
He's
release.
looking
Oh, you
like
can see him with his.
Morpheus
Yeah, you can see
in
him
that
there
one.
with his. This is like his Sunday sessions, and they were all kind of wearing. It's like prison clothes or something like that. Homeless prison clothes or
Yep.
something. A little bit of a
Oversized
futuristic.
clothes. Oversized clothes are the new thing that's coming around. So
Is he?
we had the skinny jeans run, and now we're going into the opposite, the
Yeah.
baggier, looser fit.
Yeah, it went baggy to fucking tight as fuck. I think we went through a
Yep.
stage there where it was kind of normal fitting clothes too, and maybe we're going back to loose fitting.
Yeah, I'm a fan of just normal fitting clothes that aren't too out there.
Yeah.
Some of my biggest style icons and people I look up to are guys like Steve McQueen. Who he was around in the '60s and in the '70s, and
Yeah.
you look at photos of him, and he still looks good today. There's nothing embarrassing about it, and that's sort of what I try and model myself on, as well as many others. You've got like even Fred Astaire, back in the '20s and '30s, I think. There's plenty of guys out there that rock a good timeless style, even like James Dean. It's a more modern one is you get the occasional what's his name? Um, like Tom Ford, for example. He does quite a good job. He's pretty conservative in how he styles clothes, and people love it. So it is still popular and it's still around.
Sweet. I just dropped out for a minute. I don't know if
Yep.
anyone was affected on this end.
I don't know. I just kept talking.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
let us
Sweet,
know
sweet.
if you heard what I said or whatever. But otherwise, yeah, you missed out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that standard kind of, you kind of don't want to, if you go with the trend in the minute, then you look back and you go like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, we've all got those experiences. I mean,
Yeah.
myself included. I used to have the emo, straight brushed down hair and was combed over. I look back at myself now and I think, man, like, what was I thinking? I look like a girl.
That's all right.
So
If
it's
you're like, but
you
you got
learn
to
from your
dress,
mistakes.
you dress for the occasion. So if it's like, if you go on the football, you wear a footy shirt, and if you're going
Yeah,
to the skate park, you wear, your Vans, or if you go into the, like one of the horse races, you wear your suit. So, you gotta, or if you just go on the local pub, you're just wearing a t-shirt and jeans. So it's
I'm there in a
like
suit
dress.
still.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
Uh,
it's good fun.
Versace
I
cowboy
definitely agree
reckons
though.
he can't wear skinny jeans unless they're made with the three legs on it. And I
It
guess
just
another thing to like think about, it's like dudes who are either skinnier or fatter, you got to dress to what fits your body. Like this is important for guys to wear. Guys, you want to feel comfortable, you want to feel good, you got to work with what you got, and you got to, because they want to find a missus, they want to fucking get their shit sorted out, start a family down the track. So you can't like, I'm a fat slob, I'm giving up, or I'm real skinny, I look shit. But it's like, no, you gotta dress to suit your shape or whatever, eh?
absolutely, mate. You got to work with what you've got. There's plenty of guys out there that are a bit overweight or a bit on the slim side that look great when they put some effort in. You can always improve yourself, and going to the gym and dieting, it takes time. So in the meantime, why not invest in yourself and make the most of what you've got to work with? So, my advice for any skinny guys out there is layers are your friend. Find clothes that fit appropriately. Don't go baggy, because I think that's a default for guys, because they like to sort of wear something that hides, that they're skinny. But going baggy actually is worse, because it makes you look like you're too small for your clothes. It makes you look skinnier.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that, chuck on an extra layer maybe. If it's summertime, you can find a summer jacket that if you wear like a linen open weave jacket, you're not wearing anything at all over the top. It doesn't block the wind or anything. You wear a nice open weave linen or cotton shirt underneath, and that wind blows straight through like you're not wearing anything.
Yeah.
That's something that I'd recommend for skinny guys. Work on your layers, especially a suit jacket, because it's designed to build your shoulders up. It sort of makes your chest a bit more full looking, and it hugs your waist in, so it actually creates the illusion that you're more athletic than you are. So,
Yeah.
and it's the same with larger guys. Like a suit will do the exact same thing. It's designed to change that proportion to make your shoulders look broader and your waist look slimmer. So it even works on guys that are larger, and they tend to also buy, baggier clothes to sort of, try and hide rolls and things. When if you get something that fits right, you'll actually do a better job at concealing everything nicely. And a nice jacket that's a bit tight around the waist where it sort of hugs and tucks everything in. It really makes a difference, especially if you look at guys that are larger from the back. You can't tell that they're actually have a bit of a stomach because it sucks the sides in. So it creates this illusion that you're a lot more in shape than you are. Same with the lapels on a suit. So it's designed to give this overall V shape that runs down, which your eyes are drawn sort of down to make the top look larger and the waist look slimmer. So it's all an optical illusion, and it's been mastered and perfected over hundreds of years. So that's why I don't see it going out of fashion, because it works in business settings. It works if you're on a date. The best thing you can do if you're on a date, boys, chuck on a blazer. Wear a t-shirt if you have to underneath it, but chuck on a nice button-up shirt if you can, and a blazer. It will make all the difference.
If you get too hot, just free ball it, and it drops the
and
temperature by
you
5 degrees.
You can always take it off, and even just a nice button-up shirt is also going to help create that illusion that your shoulders are broader and that your waist is slimmer. That's why there's collars. That's why they're cut to a certain angle on the shoulders. Even just a nice, on a hot day, a nice button-up shirt makes a little difference. Ladies appreciate it. They appreciate the effort. That's my big tips. I'm full of plenty more.
What do you reckon about, like, if you watch Boys in the Hood, them old school shows? I kind of appreciate them in the sense that these are guys in the ghetto, right, who don't have a lot of money, but they make they make it look cool. Like, they'll wear the fucking flanny and a simple, black or white t-shirt. You know what I mean? The chucks.
Yeah, man.
And it's like them simple, timeless things where you always think, like, you don't need a lot of money to look good. You know what I mean? You can sort of
Absolutely
make it work with what you got. But
man, I love Chucks. Chucks, they're a classic shoe. Same with Vans. They never go out of style. They're affordable. I think Chucks are underrated, and they're great for the gym too if you're lifting. Chucks are fantastic.
nice
Versatile shoe. They even work with a pair of chinos and a nice button-up shirt. It's a good investment.
Yeah, and just free ball. You laugh.
I think I need the support, but it's hey, each to their own, mate. Each to their own.
Yeah. There's here's the origin of the t-shirt. Thought we'd read this because I think they were saying the t-shirt has been, as we know it today, is an apparel staple. Apparently, it started in the 19th century when labourers would cut their jumpers in half to keep cool and warmer months during the year. First manufactured the t-shirt was invented between the Mexican-American War in 1898 and 1913, when the US Navy began issuing them as standard undershirts. And there's old mate.
Yeah.
Bang.
There you go. I said the Army, but it was the Navy. There you go. So I was almost there. But the Navy really popularized them because they were working in engine rooms, and they take their Navy shirt off, and then all these photos came out from the war about guys wearing these t-shirts, and no one really caught on to them because they were always like a working class thing. And so the Navy in the war actually popularized the t-shirt. So I have a lot of respect for a good fitting t-shirt because it's a massive part of our history.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to learn the history of fashion and where it comes from and why we have it.
Yeah, you learn a little bit of the culture and the history, and you feel the connection.
Absolutely. It's like these these pocket squares that I always wear, which people sort of go like, why do you wear a pocket square? And every suit that I wear, you'll notice that I always have one in. That originated as, before we had Kleenexes and a packet of tissues, men would carry around a handkerchief, and what they would do is they'd keep it in one of their pant pockets. And one smart, thoughtful guy came along one day and put a clean one in his suit pocket on the front to keep it as clean and away from his everyday use one. And then if he ever noticed a lady that was upset or needed their glasses cleaned or anything, he could just pull it out, bang, here you go. And that's how it originated. It was a practical item, which I've done myself.
And that's how shotgun weddings were invented. No.
I've heard about your shotgun weddings.
Yeah, one thing always leads to the next. So that's the part of being a bit of a stud and being there.
I tell you what, there's nothing a lady appreciates more than a man that's always prepared. And if a girl's upset and you pull that handkerchief out and you give it to them, I mean, you're like a hero. They love it.
You're in.
And it's the gentleman thing to do. Not just if you're in, just if you're just a good guy. I think it's important to be prepared, and you'd be amazed that it's actually useful in some cases. I use it for my glasses. If I'm not carrying around a cleaning cloth, so they're quite handy. It isn't, it represents being a gentleman, but it isn't just just a showpiece.
Yeah, I always recommend a bit of aluminum foil too inside your hat.
Yeah, mate. I hear that it's good for a bit of insulation. It keeps the cold out or the heat out. So it just helps to regulate things.
Stops ScoMo from wanting to track me and shit.
Yeah, mate. I heard it blocks 5G.
Yeah,
so.
I should have when I released a possum the other day up at my local 5G tower. I just fucking gave him a little bit of that aluminum to the top of his head. And he's like,
hey, yeah, he'll be right to go.
Thanks, Dusty.
He's probably loving it.
No. Yeah. Egg boy reckons.
Hey, Egg Boy.
I know someone who wore an egg once.
I think I know what he's talking about. I wonder still if it's the real Egg Boy. We may never know.
I fucking hope so.
I sort of hope so too.
Egg Boy should have his own YouTube channel. I would love.
He should. Egg Boy.
Real Egg Boy.
Egg Boy. I want to see a face reveal. Give us a face reveal, mate.
Go help him get a nice suit with like egg pattern suit. Be fucking.
Yeah, mate. Hey, I reckon just a white or a cream-colored suit with a bit of a yellow or a beige sort of trim. So you got the egg white and the yolk. You can make it work.
Yeah. What do you boys reckon of a black Fred Perry with a gold piping? Bloody looks great, I think.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Black and gold's always a good color combo, and Fred Perry's always are a good cut, so they're a good fit.
Isn't like Fred Perry a bit of the that's like the what do they call them, the lads or something? And they would be like poor working class people who would they'd try to dress up a bit so the cops would leave them alone or something like that. Isn't that the?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the history of the polo. It was adapted a lot by the alternative movements, many of them. So you had like some of the punks would wear them, some of the skinheads, and then all the way through to like your think of the 80s and your classic like Wolf of Wall Street, wealthy sort of preppy dudes. So they're really versatile. It's I think they look quite cool with a pair of chinos and a pair of sunnies. You're on a boat. It's a cool laid back look. It's better than just a plain t-shirt, but again, nothing wrong with that either. It's just something to class up a casual outfit slightly. So
should get like a polo, black polo with like an egg on it, and black with the yellow. You're black with the yellow piping, with an egg there. There you go. That'd be
There you go,
like
egg boy. There's
egg
one
boy.
for you.
There you go, mate. You look like a real stud. Just rip off the Fred Perry, make your own, mate. You'd be rich. And I'm only asking for a 10% cut for the idea, you know. Nah. All good, all good.
Doing some repping.
Yeah.
Gotta get that those royalties, mate.
That's it. I gotta get them royalties, eh?
Yeah, buddy.
What else?
So that's something I'm working on. I've got to design a product to get some royalties. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you need to. That's it. We need to make the next thing, bro. You know. What did we do? I sold after we did the banner. I sold 5 hats pretty quick. So everyone saw the hats flapping while we hung that COVID-19 banner in the city.
Yeah, mate.
So.
But any publicity is good publicity, you know. You can always spin it around to your advantage, and
thanks,
people will do the opposite. Absolutely, you know. Because people see something bad and they get curious about it. You know, most people will sort of go, "What's the deal here? What's going on?" Especially with the way mainstream media is going. You know, people are distrusting more and more.
Yeah,
so it's interesting to see.
And what do you reckon about all this gender neutral school uniforms and all the gender neutral kind of fashion that might be coming our way in the future?
I don't think it'll take off. I have seen some funny instances where there was a private school where it was hot and middle of summer, and when they brought in all these gender neutral ideas, because it was so hot and the guys had to wear pants and a jacket and everything, they went and borrowed their sisters' dresses and wore those just to keep cool as a sign of rebellion. So I thought that was quite funny, They're there with the hairy legs and it was a kilt.
The kilts are coming back.
That was pretty genius.
That's funny. You see, I've seen a few dudes rocking, like, out having beers, and you'll see I've seen a few dudes rocking the kilts, and it always seems to be like a suit jacket, kilt, socks pulled up.
They still keep it masculine. That suit jacket is a sign of masculinity. You know, it's unmistakable. You see women in these like power suits, and they look more masculine, and it's the same with the guy. You chuck one on, and you look more masculine just because of the way it's made and the proportions, and it's iconic. So it's a pretty interesting scenario.
Yeah.
But
there's like a bit of William Wallace coming back into pop culture. I reckon we should do I want to do like a Highland Games. You know what I mean? We should do like an annual.
That'd be interesting.
We need to have an annual Highland Games, and all just get some kilts. They don't have to be expensive. Get some cheap kilts off eBay. Just be like $50, and then go down the park with a carton of beer, and we can just find some shit to throw around, and get on the piss and have a laugh. Yeah.
Get some Atlas stones or something, or throw some kegs of beer. You know, it's that could be good fun. Do it all in kilts.
We need to do it when this bloody lockdown's done. We're going to organise a Highland game, and we'll go get some kilts, and we'll get on the piss and go to the park.
I'm down for that.
All you need really is like a big rock, maybe a big ass stick, you know, maybe a tug of war. Tug of war, you know. Tug of war
is always fun. Always fun. No wrestling though. That could end badly.
Just like cover your eyes. The kilt will be fucking flapping around in the. I wonder how it'd have to go. It'd be just free ball it, you reckon, under my kilt, or?
Yeah. It's a bit risky. Apparently, hey, you ask a Scotsman, they all say the same thing. That's what they do. But flop checking. You know, I wouldn't want to find out.
Yeah. That's it. You never, you know, I'm pretty sure every single time I've seen someone in a kilt, I'm pretty sure I've been like, you're like, hey, and then they keep walking, and then you hear, ah, and then it's like, oh, he's just flashed some bird. You know what I mean?
Bit of the wind coming up, the old Marilyn Monroe trying to push it down.
Yeah. That's it. Ah. Uh, so, are you gonna be you're gonna be getting this Dapper Den? You're gonna be giving men advice. Are you gonna go beyond just fashion? Is it to build the modern man, or is that a bit of the vision you've got, Steve?
Absolutely, man. So it's more image consulting than just fashion, but I also give advice on, hair loss, how to have better skin, general men's health advice as well. Um, I'm no doctor, hashtag not a doctor, but, your
Well,
more
as of
generic.
last Thursday, I'm a doctor, so yeah.
But general tips on like the importance of staying in shape and how it can affect your mood and your confidence. Hair loss for guys is a big issue and something that isn't discussed very openly. So I'm trying to give a bit of a platform for that as well.
Yeah.
I try and make that I'm open for personal messages, so you can message me directly. I've got a Telegram chat, which is a group discussion, but anything that you can't, that's more personal, you can message me directly. I'm always open. You can also drop me an email, which I think is down below. If not, it's dapperdenaustralia@gmail.com. So I'm accessible across a whole bunch of media forms. Don't be scared to reach out. For any guys that are watching, I might get back to you straight away because I'm pretty busy right now, producing videos and I have got a lot of people that are messaging me for advice. But chuck it up there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And it's free, so we'll go from there.
It's free, but you can donate to your PayPal. Chip in $1.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that goes to my PayPal is going towards equipment. So I'm looking at buying a new computer because mine is it's really struggling to produce my stuff for all the editing. So that's the next step because that'll help me to get content out faster. Because right now the biggest struggle I have is editing because my computer is just it's really pushing its limits, and so it takes quite some time to produce that content, but it's coming. So always appreciative for any support.
Bloody oath. Versace Cowboy reckons hair loss is discussed very openly, just not by the guy losing the hair.
Yeah, that's that. It's very true.
Yeah, all his mates discuss it with him, giving him heaps of shit. I reckon
but hey,
you gotta
there's help out there.
I've seen the guys at my work, and they go bald and they just keep it around the sides. But I reckon it's just there comes a time you just gotta go completely fucking bald. You gotta shave it at least once
cut
a
your
week.
losses.
Just go to a 0.
Yep. Stop
and I
trying
reckon
to cling on to hope.
if you've got a if you've got a bald head, surely with a bald head looks real good with a mustache or a beard.
Yeah, it's actually true. If you're going bald, having a bit of facial hair actually helps to balance out and make it look. People expect to see facial hair. Well, sorry, just hair around your face in general. So if you're losing on the top, shave it off, do a Bruce Willis, and grow on your face instead.
There you go.
It's
Bruce Willis is a good example. Here's another good example.
Absolutely. There's plenty. Vin Diesel. There's loads.
Peter Dunn.
Talk about eggheads.
I was a stunning brunette before COVID-19. Bring back the toupee. You reckon Trump's hair's real or fake, bro? What do you reckon?
I think it's real in the sense that he's had some hair transplants, and so I think he's got some bald patches, and that's why he combs it the way that he does, because I think he's had an early hair transplant before they sort of mastered it. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but
so he might have like that front bit might be legit, but then there's like a nice bald patch in the middle somewhere.
And I think he's quite thin up the top, and that's why he sort of brushes it all over and tries to get as much hair as he can to cover that. That's why he has his part down lower to try and get some more over. He's definitely trying to hide something, But hey, it's iconic. It's his thing. More power to him. He owns it. So it's worked to his advantage in some instances, and it gets people talking about him.
What do you reckon about women with short hair?
Man, I'm not a fan, to be honest. Overall, some girls can pull it off, but I think you can take a really attractive girl with long hair, and they cut it because it's the new trend, and they look like a 12-year-old boy. So
it's disgusting. I fucking hate
it. And it's a big commitment to grow it back. It takes time.
Yeah, imagine Pauline Hanson with the long, beautiful red hair. She'd be a stunner with them green eyes.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I mean, look, she does a pretty good job at working with how it is now. It doesn't look too bad, but she definitely would suit longer hair more, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think she's trying to be trendy and
just bang, Pauline, rock it down here. New set of bolt-ons, and then we'll get her in.
The old bolt-ons.
I
don't know. It's,
come on, just a little bit of.
Yeah. I could see some caricatures coming out of Pauline, some inappropriate caricatures. Some interesting cartoons.
She seems to be I like Pauline Hanson. She's not the best communicator, but she's got a good heart. She wears the heart on the sleeve, and she seems to really care, and she's not a part of the establishment. And it's not that she's perfect, but far from it. But I don't
she's down to earth.
I don't expect any politician to be, we shouldn't have an expectation for any of our politicians to be like fucking YouTube sensations who are amazing communicators who are funny and, you know what I mean? Like, they're there to do a job. They're not a motivational speaker. They're there to give us the best value for money and the best functioning society and functioning economy. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
We want results, really. Should be result
Absolutely.
based. It's like Bernie Sanders. Like, he looks like a fucking dead. It was like a dead body walking around. And he sounds weird. He's got
weekend
body
at Bernie's.
language. He's like this, bro. Like, I can sit here, body language, and just sit normally. Bernie was like doing this. Bernie was like, and just like, God's sake, Bernie. Like, I don't even mind Bernie Sanders. Like, I would have preferred Bernie Sanders over, who's the pedophile guy who's running against him?
Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Biden. Yep.
What's he got? Yep. He's got Alzheimer's.
Dementia almost.
Yeah.
Is it Alzheimer's or dementia?
Dementia, Alzheimer's. He keeps forgetting how old
he is. One of those two.
He keeps going for 16-year-olds. He thinks he's 16, He's like,
people, I put up a joke, I think it was in your page, and people didn't sort of get it at first, I don't think. But there's a lot of interesting footage of him out there with younger girls. It's pretty creepy.
It's disgusting, hey?
Yeah, mate. Got the COVID-19 here, coughing away. Nah, jokes.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
Cal reckons Bernie Sanders looks like my hero. Old white men.
Hey,
That's Cal's. That's what she likes.
Old white men with several $1 million homes.
On the beach.
Hey, it's something to aspire to, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I was like Bernie and all them politicians with beachside mansions. Well, they tell us about how the sea levels are fucking rising and that,
Yeah, well, why do you think they push this global warming thing that the ice caps are melting? It's because
they want to say.
Hey, they bought. Yeah, well, no, they bought all this money on the beachfront because the prices went down lower. People were scared they'd be lost. So hey, we all fell for it, and Al Gore was making a lot of money on the profits of all the tax and everything. So
As
he's made a fortune.
Bernie Sanders
Factually, the poorest senator.
Damn, I'm gonna Google him.
I'd like to see. I'd like to. I mean, compared to Trump, I guess. Although they say that Trump's not as wealthy as he claims, but it'd be interesting to actually pull up the stats and try and work it out. But it's always hard to estimate someone's wealth to a certain extent because you can always hide it. So, but it'd be interesting to do the figures on it.
Here we go, Bernie. Let's see what it says. What we got, buddy? Is that you? That must be your end of town. Something flying over your house.
Oh, it's a helicopter in the background.
Jeez.
They're passing now.
What's on with this bloody thing? Bernie
They're
Sanders.
after me. They heard them on your live stream.
Yeah, they're on to you. Bernie Sanders' net worth. Yeah, so they're saying he's worth. What's this shit popping up? Fuck. Let me see if I can get this happening. Bang. Bernie the Mad Dog. He's worth $2 million.
Oh yeah. It was definitely probably learn to speak. Probably not worth as much as Trump, but who knows? It's hard to calculate.
Well, I think
that's quite interesting.
If you're a career politician, I'm pretty sure Bernie's been in the game his whole life, so he's probably earned fairly good money, $200,000 a year or something like that, maybe more. So $2 million to be like, how old is he? Fucking 103. He's like the oldest man on earth. So he's obviously. The thing is, the fact that Bernie only has $2 million. It's probably where he would be sitting, but the thing is, maybe it's like he must be terrible with money then. You know what I mean? Like some of these politicians, I know they're like worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. They have an F load of money, and you're like, oh, you're clearly been like getting money to the side. You know what I mean? Doing deals to the side and making money from donations, and it's not right. But when you got a guy, you probably should have more than this. Maybe Bernie. Look, I reckon Bernie's a nice guy. I'm sure he's given on.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Like it's easy to make fun of him because he is a bit of a character. Feel the burn, and he's good at marketing himself. So it's easy to to make fun of him, but we're still talking about him. So he's onto something there.
I reckon he had a good enough heart. I don't think like many.
I think so.
I honestly don't think that Trump supporters. I don't really see many Trump supporters like really taking the piss of Bernie, like taking the piss in a normal way. You know what I mean? Like having a joke, but nothing like hate filled. You know what I mean? I think he sincerely wants to see some positive change. You know what I mean? It's just not having
definitely.
The thing is, for the most part, most people want to see a better society and a more positive, more productive, better value for money, whatever, compassion for poor people. It's just how we create that. Like, how are we going to do that? How do we achieve that?
Yeah.
Maybe the left wing and the right wing have the same kind of heart and it's the same end goal. It's just how you get there. You know what I mean?
I think so as well. The left sort of approaches it where, billionaires or people that are up there need to give back to the community, and to bring people up that are poorer. And then I think conservatives approach it more as the right wing as let the poor people work for it themselves and give them the skills to do that, because if you give someone money for nothing, what if that money runs out? Whereas if you give someone the skills to achieve that money, to accrue it themselves, they're more independent, and so it's just a different approach, I think, to the same overall outcome, which is making society better as a whole and trying to get rid of poverty and trying to reduce the homeless people, and yeah, it's I think that
I
overall
know,
people
like,
across the board in politics are,
I know for a fact, like, as a concreter, if they ever rolled out a universal income, and if they were like, oh, I could be sitting at home and take a $200 a week pay cut, I'm not going to work. I'm not going concreting. Like, I'll be like,
yeah.
fuck that shit. So, like, there's
I
a
mean,
point where Universal, at the moment, they've doubled the dole. It's not, it's better than it was. It's not enough. I still don't think you can still make better money in a simple job. You can still make double the dole
oh,
as an
absolutely,
unskilled
absolutely,
worker. So it's
yeah.
like
I mean,
finding the
laborers make
balance.
good money.
Yeah,
It's
I've
quite
always
quite
said
decent.
that. I've always said like a bloke, blokes do have a bit of it. The advantage that we do have is you can be an unskilled person out of high school and you can work a physical job and earn good money. It's
Yeah,
hard, physical. Not many people have got it in them, but like the option's always there. Like you could almost finish school and get 800 to $1,000 a week.
yeah.
Just no
That's what I
skill,
did myself.
working. Yeah. But for a
I was
woman, I think that's not really the case for a woman. Like for women, I always encourage women to study, to go to TAFE uni. Generally, though, they do better in a classroom study environment anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I
I
think
mean, you're
all
starting to
of
see it
my.
change now, though. So if you get like a job in a warehouse, which was my first job out of high school, it was actually working the cold stores, and it was good money because you work in a freezer and you pay a little bit extra for that, and you're a labourer, so you get paid quite well. But now you still need to have a warehousing course
Yeah.
as a requirement. So I sort of see that as similar to like childcare, where you have to have a Cert 4, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're starting to sort of see it across the board level out. With that being said, there's plenty of programs out there where the government will fund, for you to do a Cert 4 at a school,
Yeah.
at a high school, I should say. And so there are options out there. I think that you just got to adapt. Bear Grylls it, adapt, overcome.
Yeah. I reckon they should
So
definitely
yeah,
open up like the at the moment how we have the HEX thing and it's like you can go to university and you can get an interest-free loan that you pay back once you're earning like 55 grand. I reckon that should be opened up to anyone who wants to invest in upskilling themselves. They should be able to tick up an interest-free loan, whether you need a forklift ticket or a TAFE course to be a childcare worker or, like you said, a factory. You would need to do a warehousing course or a welding course or whatever. Like, why aren't we opening up that same system? Because I think that's a fair system where you go and you will pay it back. You got to pay it back. You know what I mean? It's a hand up. Hand ups are
yeah.
great. And that's where it's generosity, but it's saying like, hey, you can we are investing in you and you're going to have to pay this back, but we're giving you the opportunity to earn more money to get that job. You know what I mean? I'd even do it
I
with
think the
drive.
key.
I
I
would
think
think we could almost do it with driver's licenses or something if it's like your
yeah,
first, because you got to have a car. Realistically, you got
yep,
to have a car, or
yeah,
it helps your
definitely.
career opportunities. So, but
I think
there's things that we can do in communities to help this too. Like if you're a Christian or you're in the world's greatest men's fraternity, we can actually do a little bit of chucking into a pot and then being like, yo, we're going to invest in our people and reskill people and all this stuff. You know what I mean? I've always said that. We do it in
yeah,
church and stuff.
sometimes the government just can't look after everyone. You can slip through the cracks because you're just a number to the government at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's that they don't know you like your friends know you. So it's easy to slip through the cracks. And I think that's one important thing to realize is the government can't help everyone. So it's up to people individually to help each other, to a certain extent, because you know in some ways, we need to pick up the slack for the government's shortcomings that they may have. I think another big point with like HECS debts is university is great, but it's starting to become a lot more redundant with all the new, some of the new degrees out there, like your gender studies.
That's ridiculous.
You always hear that, I can find plenty of work, with this degree. Well, yeah, there's Maccas, there's plenty of work out there. Anyone can find work, but it's, unless you're working as a consultant to a company and you're talking publicly and giving advice and things.
Some degrees are stupid.
It's a small market.
It's so if a guy does I'm going to do a welding course, and it's like you've learned a skill, a real practical skill, where people need fucking whatever, try a trailer welded up or the bloody certain job things welded up and make things. But if you do a nursing degree or a teaching degree or you become a lawyer or an accountant, so it's like there's a practical job at the end of that course. There's a real job at the end of the forklift course or a welding course or whatever, a security license. Where the hell, if you do like a sociology course or a fucking arts degree or a bloody gender studies, what is that really? We'll put them in human resources and they'll be like a part of. These are the people who they create these degrees and then they have to create the job for that degree, and then they start drowning us in political correct bureaucracy. You know what I mean?
But it isn't sustainable, and that's the issue. And like right now with this coronavirus thing, I know this myself personally. So services, they're the first things to go, as in like personal services and consulting, and whereas hard skills, practical skills like construction, building products, whether it's welding or even working in a warehouse,
the product at the
there.
Meatworks.
Yeah, there's a product there to sell. There is a hard product there which you can sell. Myself, for example, I give advice, and so I am a service, and so I could justify it, paying for my time with clients because the discounts I would get from companies were so large for my referrals that let's say a suit costs you $1,000 normally. Well, that's a bit high. Let's say it's $600 for a suit normally.
Yeah.
My discount would be enough to cover $100 of that. So you get it for $500 instead of $600, and then you're paying me $50 for my time, which is in the end you're working out to $50 less you're paying for a suit, and you get all my services with that and everything else. But obviously now no one's paying for these services, and no one's no one can afford to. So
we have an essential economy at the moment where
exactly
it's the needs and not the wants anymore. So at the moment, but surely we're going to see an economic explosion once this is done. Like if the obviously the economy is going to be slowly opened up, and maybe there'll be limits on venue, how big, how many people can enter into a venue. Maybe we're going to see some that could last years, you know what I mean? But I reckon we'll see a time where pubs and clubs and churches and cinemas and and restaurants are going to open up again. Do you know what I mean? And gyms, and we can.
Yeah, I believe so.
We can see it's gonna happen, but
it's just a matter of time before we get there.
Is it been how long? What's it been now? A month? Is it a month now? Something like that?
I think it's about 4 to 6 weeks, I believe we're at now.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we see it lift soon.
Hang on, I'm just trying to read a little bit of the national. What is it? National education. Oh fuck! I've lost what I was reading there. Yeah, so I reckon we need to. Have you ever it's like the Reserve Bank at the moment is printing a lot of this money, aren't they? And we're going in debt. We're printing essentially they're just printing money because no one's buying the bonds. They're buying the bonds themselves. They're issuing the government is buying the bonds directly with the money that's printed essentially, and we're going into debt with the Reserve Bank. So it's like, I guess if every country's doing it, every dollar, all the currencies are going to be inflating or devaluing. So
Yeah, but
it's
it'll be
like,
on a fairly even playing field if the countries do it right.
mm,
And another thing too is, you'll probably see, depending on the government, that manages this. One thing that could help, uh, reduce our debt is, cutting non-essential fundings to certain industries, or even like things like foreign aid. At the end of the day, you look after yourself first. So,
mm,
there's, I think we'll see a reduction in foreign aid spending to try and put back into our own economy. Um, so I think that's, hopefully we'll see some of that take place, but uh, who knows? We're not in the government right now, so
yeah,
that's personally what I'd like to see, but we'll see how it goes.
that's right. Like what you're saying, like every nation has to look after themselves. That's the thing with like international, with globalism and manufacturing being in the third world or in China, where we're like, China will look after themselves. If China's, if this virus was worse in China, they would they would be like, no, we're only making enough production for ourselves, and they would cut the rest of the world off. That's only natural, and we would be like, that's fine. We'd have no say in the matter, but of course they're going to look after their own first. You know what I mean? And this is why we need
Yeah,
to, at this point, there's going to come a time where the government goes, right, we're going to have a beyond, once we can open the economy again, they're going to need to have more money that we stimulate the economy and they invest in maybe some more infrastructure that hopefully can grow the economy, whether that be dams, and we can increase agriculture production by having water for the farmers, or we can open up, maybe do some investment in infrastructure around manufacturing and see if we could bring some of these manufacturing jobs back, because we're going to need to expand the economy, grow the economy to pay this debt off, you know.
yeah,
So it's going to
it's
happen.
true. One issue that we have is, this is the reason why countries like China and even India are so cheap for manufacturing, is because they don't have all the extra costs associated with waste and waste disposal and um, environmental taxes and things. Um, so I think also that we may need to see a bit of a reduction in the costs for Australian businesses to run and to actually manufacture. Obviously it's still important to look after the environment, but maybe we can, or not we, but the government can look at even helping out with making the cost of manufacturing cheaper in Australia, because that's the real key. I mean, if you're a business owner and it costs you $20 to make an item in Australia, it's going to cost you $2 or $5 in China or India or
Yeah.
one of these cheaper
Yeah,
countries.
you gotta pay someone
It's obvious,
30 bucks. Yeah, you gotta pay someone 30 bucks an hour to work in your factory in Australia, where they're paying them probably $6 an hour in China or India or the Philippines or wherever. So
yeah,
we're in a tough spot there where they can, like, that's why Trump's obviously got his tariffs and all this stuff, where he's even said now he's like considering putting a tariff on oil, because the oil companies are like, can't compete with the fucking oil war going on with Saudi Arabia and Russia. So there's so much
yeah,
oil imports so cheap, and then the American oil producers are like going bankrupt over it. You know, so he's like,
yeah,
we're gonna have to put a tax on the imports so the local production can remain competitive or be able to bloody survive. I mean, you got to
yeah,
do what you got to do. This is where globalism is. we've come to a point where globalism initially was there the idea was to help lift the third world out of poverty. And it seems like we've made a heap of progress in that area, but it's like
Yeah,
time to go, okay, we've done that now, and the third world, that it's like the third world is improved a great deal. So it's time now we need to go. We need to maybe renegotiate like Trump's done these trade deals, get rid of the the free trade deals and say, well, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to have to look after our own manufacturing, our own jobs, and that's it. This has been a wake up
absolutely.
call. COVID-19 is probably going to be it already happened. It was already started to happen with Brexit and Trump and the renegotiation of the trade deals, and now with COVID-19, it's like we're in a we're in a spot where we're going to see change. We have to see
Absolutely.
change. It can't
I
stay the
mean,
same way.
China right now, like they are, if you go over there, they are at least 10 years ahead of us in certain cities. They are, it's unbelievable that the technology and what they have there, compared to, Australia or even the US to a certain extent,
Hmm.
it's unbelievable. It would blow your mind. And that's one thing that, I don't think people realize is that China's come a long way because they've made a lot of profits off of,
Hmm.
the fact that they're sort of given a free ride with,
Oh, they've done a brilliant job.
environmental taxes and everything. It's great for the people. Like it's
Well,
improved the
they've
country a lot.
embraced, they've embraced the free market, and it's like single party free market capitalism
Yeah,
fueling socialism. They've done quite an amazing job. Now, they probably have poor environmental standards, poor working conditions, and poor wages. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like, but
stuff that
maybe,
you couldn't get away with in Australia, and it's for
yeah.
good
So like,
reasons. But
but even maybe
yeah,
China is now getting to the point where they can improve in them areas, and China can become like China is a first world nation. It's becoming a first world nation, and they've
mm.
done a bloody brilliant job. There's things I don't
I mean,
agree with China with the fucking abort how they abort babies and all that, and you'd love to see them become a democracy and give the people a say, but because it's quite authoritarian. But you know what? They've used the free market and to fuel socialism. They don't even have socialism like we have. We have a greater socialist government. Like we've got better healthcare and better services and better safety nets than they do. You know what I mean? It's just that
yeah,
they've actually harnessed the free market better than we have. They've harnessed capitalism and investment better than we have. So
yeah,
we can learn a lot from them, and it's just a damn shame that they had to save face and didn't tell the world how serious this fucking virus was. You know,
yeah.
well they
Even
say
look at
if they
like
told
countries like,
people, I think they said if they told everyone a month earlier. Well, this is where Trump's going on about this World Health Organization, the UN, because it's like they were like, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay. They didn't tell the world that how serious the situation was. I think
yeah,
5 million people leave Wuhan when the virus. They knew what the hell was going on. 5 million people left that area. you
yeah,
know, and they've
yeah.
come to
It's
obviously students, business people, people on holidays going to Western countries, spreading it everywhere, and it's just like what a mess. Someone said, where did I read
absolutely.
somewhere? Someone was said something in the comments section here. Left winger. I wonder how many Chinese doctors and nurses saw that banner on their way to hospital to save lives. Don't didn't think of that through, did ya? Well, the thing
I
is
think that
like,
a lot of them agree. They're a lot of the Chinese people, if you actually talk to them, are pretty disgusted with what the Chinese government's done, and
well,
would actually agree. So
It's not the Chinese people. Like it's
yeah, it's
the
the
Chinese
government.
government that they wanted to, essentially, they just wanted to save face. They're very proud people. They didn't want to, they wanted to have it under control. And there is like a strategic thing where, like, anyone in a leadership position, it's like, something bad might be going on, and you're like, oh, hang on, well, we don't want to tell everyone and blow it up and be fear mongering. Do you know what I mean? You want to try
Mm.
to keep it controlled and be like, maybe we can wrap this thing up and we can fucking stamp it out and it's over and done and dusted and there's no need to blow it up. So there's like reasonable. I've seen that in youth groups. I've seen that in different places. You know what I mean? Over the
Yeah.
years, and like you go, someone's like, bang, having a meltdown over here, something bad's going on. You're like, hang on, the show must go on. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But that's the thing.
I
They
mean,
found themselves in a bad. Obviously, it didn't work, did it? And we've all.
yeah.
It's us that's. It's the rest of the world that's gone. Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah,
This is
it's
terrible.
absolutely. I used to live with a housemate who was Chinese, and I think he hated China more than anyone else that I've ever known. As in, not the people, because obviously he's a Chinese person, but he hated the way the country was run and the government there. So I think that the media can spin it that it's an attack against Chinese people, which actually I think is more of a danger to Chinese people to make them feel more intimidated than to actually say that no, it's an attack against the Chinese government.
Yeah.
But to say that is it's not a good story. It's more interesting just to
Oh, it's
blow it
just
up and say that
clickbait.
there's racial attacks and that's
Ah,
the media has become entertainment.
it's all they're
So
beholden to their advertisers. That's the thing. Like they're beholden to their
yeah,
advertisers, and they're like, Channel 7. They're like, we've got all this money we're giving you, and your your views are going down. And next year, when we negotiate this contract, we're not going to be paying you as much. And Channel 7 goes, what are we going to do? Oh fuck!
yeah,
Some dude hung a banner in the city, and there was a bit of graffiti on the wall. Let's write a story about racism on the rise against Chinese people. So it's like
anything for views.
you got
That's all
to.
it's
It's
about.
clickbait. Like even this
Yeah,
article, this live, I wrote Dusty versus Dapper Den. So I use clickbait. I use
yeah,
clickbait because I said Dusty versus Dapper Den. Like we're gonna have a debate, and we're gonna be like.
yeah, dude.
So the thing
Yeah,
is, I
no,
do it too. I do
I'm
it
gonna
too.
head
I'm
over to
in
your
the
place
same game.
shortly. Scrap on.
Yeah, you're gonna strangle me.
Do an arm wrestle.
But yeah, I get what this person's saying, but like
I understand.
they
Yeah, I
because
totally understand.
they're perceiving what the mainstream media's interpretation of our banner is. So when we hung
Yeah,
the banner up, I did a video and we said this is about manufacturing. COVID-19 made in China. Everything's made in China. And it is. They've done an amazing job. Good on them. Bravo. Brilliant.
mm,
It wasn't really a dig about the virus. It was a message about manufacturing. And hey, let's bring
yeah,
let's bring manufacturing back to Australia. But also, yes, we
yeah,
had a bit of fun and we were like, yeah, this all right, let's be a little bit cheeky. And that's what you got to do, right? That's life. Like you got to have a little bit of cheekiness about you and a bit of it's the Aussie way, a bit of banter, a bit of a laugh,
well, at
bit
the
of
end
a
of the day,
stir
it
of the
got
pot.
attention.
Yeah, a bit of the
At the
stir
end
of
of
the
the day,
pot.
yeah, it got the attention that you wanted.
Yeah.
And I mean, for starters, it wasn't you that spray painted that wall because that's damage your property. I
Yeah,
don't agree
no.
with that.
That
You
had
hung a
nothing to
banner
do with
which
us.
did not cause you hung a banner which did not cause any harm to anyone. It didn't damage any property. You removed it once it was done. You had your say, and if you're on the news, it achieved what you wanted to.
That's
People can spin
exactly
it
what
however
we
they
wanted.
want.
We went out and we
Yeah,
said we want to get on the news. We were like, this is the plan. We only hung the banners for like literally got the photos we wanted, and then we wrapped the banner up. We moved to the next location. We hung it out, got the photos we wanted. We moved on, and our
yeah,
photos. It was our photos for us, so that we could share a message about bringing manufacturing back. And we put it in the
yeah,
context. That was the context that we delivered that message, which is an important message. And I even said
Absolutely.
this is not a shot. I said clearly, we said this is not a shot at Chinese people. I think bravo. I think amazing what China's done with manufacturing. I think the more
Yeah.
I think we need to be like, wow, what have they done? How are they doing it? There's obviously things we can learn off them and how they have done it, because we need to
I mean,
bring back manufacturing.
you look at Dubai, man. Dubai is incredible. It was a desert 20 years ago, and now it's a it's unbelievable what they've achieved from being just a desert. It's
Mm,
it's one of
brilliant.
the most beautiful places you can ever travel to, and it has insane amounts of wealth, like ridiculous amounts of wealth, and that's come in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Um, it's pretty crazy. I see a lot of hope for third world countries that are still poor, but it's just that
Mm,
they need better management within the leadership. You know,
mm.
you've got warlords in Africa that are just profiting for themselves, whereas if
Well,
money was
corruption is the
invested
biggest
correctly,
problem.
that's
Corruption's the
it.
biggest
Corruption's the
problem in
killer.
Africa, and I got heaps of African mates, and it's mainly the
Yeah,
older Africans who've come from Africa. The younger ones are like, westernized. They're pretty much Australian. That's all they know. But the African mates of mine, the parents at church and stuff, and you say, "Oh, what's your country? Is it a democracy? Is it capitalist? Is it communist? Is it a dictatorship? Tell me about your country." And the answer I always get from Africans is, "Oh no, my country's none of them. My country's just corrupt."
yeah.
And that's the
Which
biggest
gives you an
problem
idea,
with my nation. That's
Yeah.
what they say. My
Yep.
nation is just corrupt, and that's where I think Africa is improving now, and it's like that's what they need. That's what every nation needs. Like if we're we're better off to we don't shouldn't have to import people to prop up our economy because we're not having enough children. We should be able to have natural population growth or a stable economy that doesn't require population growth, but I would say we should have population growth because it works good economically. But other countries, they have brain drain because they're pulling all the best and brightest and all the entrepreneurs and the risk takers are moving out of their countries, and their countries are just left with the corruption, and there's no improvement. Like that's not actually what's
Yep.
going to make this world a better place, like relocating people to Western nations. If every nation adopted simple principles and got rid of corruption and embraced
Corruption is the main
a
enemy.
certain amount of capitalism, a certain amount of socialism that works together, getting rid of socialism, giving people a vote, giving people a say, making them feel invested into their own nation. That's so important that you
Yeah.
can. I'm invested in the nation. I get a say. I get a vote. There's justice. There's meritocracy. There's you know fair courts and contracts that are. If I have a contract, that's it. There's legal binding contracts that gives confidence in the market. That's what we need to get out of some of these countries out of this mess. Here's the
Absolutely.
left winger. um, there's been third and fourth generation Chinese Australians that have probably never been to China being racially vilified. It's a crying shame. Well, Channel 7 said there was two people. There was some teenage girl abused someone in Queen Street Mall. Someone had a can of fucking Mountain Dew thrown at a bus driver. There was
Mm.
our banner, and there was some graffiti that said like "fuck China" or "fuck the
Yeah.
Chinese" or something. So there's four examples in Queensland. Ours is taken out of context. We don't know what happened with them fights. The young
Mm.
lady abusing the person or the bus driver. We don't know. We don't know the
Yeah.
context. I know my context and what we did, and I know they took that out of context. So how do we know? Yeah, the graffiti. How do you know that graffiti wasn't done in um, Inala, where the Vietnamese don't particularly like the Chinese, and it was,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? Or if it was someone, what happens if that graffiti was done because we had Hong Kong protests, didn't we? Just before this
Yeah.
happened, there was Hong Kong,
Yeah.
pre-Hong Kong protest. What happens if that was someone from Hong Kong that graffitied that up 3 or 4 months ago? We don't know.
Yeah.
So
It's all taken out of context.
the
So
four examples we're given by the mainstream media, we don't even know. Four is nothing. Out of a state of 5 million people, they've only given us four examples. It's nothing.
mm.
It's so fucking. It doesn't even exist. It doesn't
Yeah.
even
I, I
exist.
I I think
Everyone's
it's
getting
I
on
think
fine.
it's I think it's worse to actually make out like that's the case, because how uncomfortable would you be as a Chinese person to check the news and think that your country hates you, or your state's out to get you, when I don't think that that's I'm positive that there's still people out there that are genuinely discriminatory against all different races, and that's always going to exist in society, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But to make out like there's a big rise and a big trend, I think is more damaging to Chinese
What I
people.
always say, like, what percentage of people are mentally ill? We could say
Yeah,
they say that there's 5% of every population, every racial group. There'll be a 5% of the population will be low IQ, like lower than 80 or 70, right?
yeah,
And now that they're generally the peak population that fills the prisons and have, you know, having a tough trot of things is the low IQ end of the spectrum, regardless of race, right? But these are most likely it's that 5% low IQ population who is like abusing someone or being a fuckhead or becoming a radical left wing, right wing Islamic extremist. I would say that most stupid people who do shit like that are in that 5% low IQ range. Personally, I reckon you could, yeah, you could attribute fucking 98% of most stupidity to people who are low IQ or mentally ill.
yeah. It's
Be
even not
real
just
about
that.
it.
That there's just people out there that either are misunderstood, or they just don't understand how to deal with people. You're always going to have people that are like that. That just are self.
And there's people who are joking around, people who you're not understanding their context. They could be joking around, they could be shit staring, they could be,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
So yeah, it's
there's so much context. Well, there's so much like when we blowing things out of proportion, you know what I mean? Or that with the mainstream media blows things out of proportion because the story is more important, than the fact of reality. Like they're trying
yeah.
to, it's clickbait. They're trying to sell.
It's
They're
all
trying to
about the
sell a
views.
story. They they
Yeah,
want you to they want you to be like, oh fuck, this is going on. I'm tuning in, and then you watch that Toyota ad and that Camry ad and that fucking Coca-Cola ad.
yeah, yeah,
I should turn the fucking
yeah. It's
ads off my channel because people are probably watching ads while they watch this live. So I'm, you know what I mean? That was probably I probably said that and then we were interrupted by like a fucking tampon ad or like a um,
yeah.
Muslim dating app or something. You know what I mean?
You should get one. You should make your own ads for your hats, for your merchandise.
Yeah. Interrupt
Although
this
I
live
don't think that would
fucking
last long.
nah. Well, I reckon we'll wrap it up, Steve. We've had a bloody
Easy,
good
buddy.
rant. Did I miss some super chats there, or here we go? Andy
I can't
Hooligan,
see any.
99 cents, sending a sticker. Thanks, brother.
Nice,
I don't even know what a super
awesome
sticker
work.
is. I've never seen a super sticker before.
There you
And
go,
yeah,
something new.
another super sticker. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yogi Hooligan. But yeah, I reckon.
Awesome work.
And then we have like the federal election coming up,
We do.
and we have a state election coming up in Queensland. Sorry, and then you got the American election coming up, and then you got Brexit happening. So the funny thing is apart from COVID-19 and all this stuff, there's a lot of political stuff. This is actually like quite a big political year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the thing is I would love to do more banners because banners are actually a whole lot of fun going out there. And you don't have to hang a banner out for all day. You just get a 5-minute photo. We had so much fun with that banner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope
And
to
you know,
get bloody more.
it's not damaging property or anything. So you know, it's
I wonder if
yeah.
it's
I think it's
inside. It
a
must
better
be
idea.
inside. It must be inside. It must be legal then. Have to be. It's just for a photo op. It's like wearing a
Yeah.
T-shirt with something written on it. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's holding
It's
it for a
controversial, but
photo op.
it's
But it's
yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
just holding something, like holding a sign for a quick photo and then going. That's all we did.
Yeah.
It's a photo
Yeah.
opportunity. And it was to be shared on social media in the context that I shared it in. And that's where Channel
Yeah.
7 has lied, or Channel 7's taken it out of context. Pissy Leaks Pete
Yeah.
reckons everyone hates the CCP, including most of their people.
Mate, most of their own people hate them the most.
Well, you look at the
Yeah.
Hong Kong protests. Like we had people from Hong Kong. They are Chinese, right?
Yeah.
It's a two-part. Is it two? Isn't it two systems, one state, or something? Isn't that what
Yeah.
they call it?
Hong Kong is almost like a separate country within China. It was
Yeah.
started with the British because when they set up the tea trade, they had basically their own colony, which was Hong Kong within China. So it is like a dual government system. It's completely different. So yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting concept to have a different country within your own country.
Yeah.
But you know, they're still the same people. They just have different political systems, and it's been heavily influenced by the British when the tea trade was going around. So that's the story
Yeah.
behind Hong Kong.
And then we can see the Hong Kong people were protesting for freedom and for democracy and wanting to
Yep.
continue the culture and the history that was left there by the British. You know, they're not
Yeah,
British
they actually
heads.
wanted it themselves.
They are Chinese people who have adopted a democratic Western system. That it's like a good proof that most nations could adopt that system and benefit from it. Do you know what I mean? And give the people. I like the idea of having a say, being invested in your own nation. Do you know what I mean? I like that idea. Like, who are we to say that Chinese people can't have a vote and have a say in our own nation? Shouldn't we be supporting them in that?
Absolutely.
I support the Hong Kong people in that. Anyway,
I
brother,
absolutely agree.
thanks for coming on, and I reckon Dapper Den. I reckon it's a good thing you're doing there, brother, because sometimes the Aussie bogans, we can slip into a bit of footy shorts and a wife beater, and we can be a bit of but we can be a bit slobbish. But it's good to have you like pushing something else for us to take a bit of pride in the way we look and meeting a lady
Absolutely.
and being a bit more of a gentleman and having that self-respect and building ourselves up, and whether we're
Absolutely.
fat or thin or whatever, or bald, or it's like working
Yeah,
with what we got and making the best we have with what we got. That's what you're all about at
yeah.
Dapper Den.
Yep. Love making guys more confident in themselves and to be better men. So make sure you check the links below. Like I said, I'm always open for inquiries, and if you're looking for advice, shoot me a message either through Telegram, Instagram. I've got a YouTube channel as well, so you can reach me on any of those, and also by email. So links will be in the bottom. And if you want to see more content, I'd appreciate some support through PayPal as well, because everything goes back into the business, and times are tough, but if you can, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if not, my advice is out there, so help yourselves to it. And follow me on Twitter as well, because I'm on there. I'm doing a rate my outfit. So if you post a photo of your favorite outfit with the hashtag rate my style Dapper Den, I'll get back to you guys after this live stream and give you guys some tips all for free.
Sweet,
just on Twitter. So thanks for having me, and stay
Cheers,
dapper,
mate.
guys. Take care.
All right, thanks for the super chats. Thanks D Live and YouTube. I'll catch you either Wednesday or Thursday. I'll see how I go. Got a bit on this week. Thanks, Steve-O. You legend. Cheers, mate. Thanks, everyone. Check out Dapper Den. All the links are below. Cheers, eh? You.